Hi, you're with Chandeep at Goodly once again, and in this video, we're going to talk about running totals. Now, oftentimes when you're trying to build a calculation in Power BI, you would have the need to build a running total. And we're going to take a look at how do you build a running total against a date, and how do you actually build a running total against a non-date column. Let's just get started. Alright, why don't we start with the data model first. So we have three simple tables. I'm working with the sales table, which is my transactions table. That has been linked to my calendar table, which is also the date table, and the products table using the product code or the product ID, all one-to-many relationships. And I've also created a small pivot table here, which is where I have the year and the month coming from my calendar table, and a total sales measure, which is nothing but the multiplication of the units and the price, and that is right here. Now, the requirement is that I'd like to create a running total across all these months till the time the matrix actually ends. So the first value, then the sum of the first two values, the sum of the first three values, so on and so forth. Let's just take a look at a measure that how do we actually build a total that starts from the first one and keeps on totaling every single month that it passes by. Alright, let's just start by creating a measure called monthly running total, and the logic that I'd like to build goes something like this. So let's just pick up maybe the month of September, and for the month of September I'd like to find out that how many days are lesser than or equal to the last day of September. So that would be all of the days of July, August and September, and for all those dates I'd like to find total sales. When I reach the month of October, I'd like to find out how many dates are lesser than equal to the last day of October, which is nothing but July, August, September, and October, and I want to find total sales for that. So let's just kind of build that logic right into our measure. So I'm just going to use the calculate function. Sure enough, I am trying to calculate total sales. But the total sales is not going to be calculated for one single month. It's going to be calculated for all the dates lesser than equal to the last day of the month. So I'm just going to use the filter function. In the filter function, first of all, I will say that if there is any filter on the date column, please remove that. I'd like to take a hold of all the dates in the calendar table. So I'm just going to use the all function and remove any kind of filters that are applied to the date column. Once any kind of filter has been applied on the date column, I will write my custom logic. And my logic is that the calendar date should be lesser than or equal to the maximum date of the calendar table date column. So what this is going to do is this is actually going to pick up the last day of the current month against which the calculation is happening. And every single date is going to be compared to the last day of the month, and all the dates which are lesser than equal to the last day of the month will actually feed into the filter table, and that is going to create a list of dates which are lesser than equal to the last day of the month. Now once I have that particular table which is lesser than equal to the last day of the month, and the total sales is just going to be calculated against for all of those dates. Let's just see what is the result of this particular measure. So I come into this measure, and that measure has already been dragged into my pivot table, and you can see that for the first value it's all the total for July. For the second value, it's the total for July and August, because the last day is going to be 31st August, and all the dates which are lesser than August are captured right here. And the running total kind of goes on until the end of the matrix. Now you can see that certainly it should not go on for the month, which is where we do not have the sales value. So I can just probably do a little if function here. So I'm going to say equals to if the total sales is not equal to blank, only then do the calculation, otherwise do not do any kind of calculation. So close that bracket, press enter, and these calculations will start to disappear for wherever the sales is not present. So this is the way you can actually do a running total against a date column. Now let's just take a look at how do you actually do a running total against a text column or a non-date column. Alright, now let's just try to do a running total for products. And I've made a simple pivot table here, which is where I have the name of the products being dragged from the products table, and against that I have placed my total sales. Now first of all, you have to understand the difference between running total for a date and running total for a non-date, which is a text column. Now whenever you're trying to work with a date is nothing but a number, and hence you could write a logic something like give me all the dates which are lesser than equal to the max date. That is totally fine because you're actually working with numbers. But how do I actually write a logic that give me all the products which are lesser than equal to the max product or the current product? Because products are nothing but the text values, and how do I write that kind of logic? So what I have done is, in order to solve this problem, I have arranged all my products in the descending order, the largest product first and the smallest product in the end. And this is just a sorting order that has been achieved by clicking on the top of the header. Now I'm going to build a logic, and I'm going to say that rank all these products in the order of total sales, and according to the rank I will actually do a running total. That means the first rank plus second rank, then the first rank plus second rank plus third rank, so on and so forth. Let's just see that how can we actually do that. All right, I'm going to follow the same approach like I explained you. The first thing that I'm going to do is find the rank of every single sales value against the product. So I'm just creating a little measure here, products running total. And the first thing that I do is find the rank of the sales value of the product. So I'm just going to use the rank X function. In the rank X function, I'm just going to take a list of all the products, because the product is going to be not compared against itself. It's going to be compared against all the products. So I'm just going to say all function and the products table. In the products table, I'm just going to take the list of all the products there are, and then in the expression I'm just going to say, hey, rank the products by the order of total sales. The value is nothing, the order is descending, and the ties are dense. Close that bracket, press enter. Now I'm just going to drag this formula to the pivot table, and let's just see what we get. So against the first product I get rank 1, the second product rank 2, the third product rank 3, so on and so forth. Now once I have the rank of the product, let's just try to build the measure further and say that, hey, why don't you sum all of the products which are lesser than equal to the third rank, sum all of the products which are lesser than equal to the fourth rank, so on and so forth. All right, I will now start to modify my DAX calculation in such a way that I get to see the running total of all the products which are lesser than equal to the current rank of the product. So if I'm evaluating for 5, I get to have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, all the products which are lesser than equal to 5. So how do I actually do that? First of all, I'm actually going to declare a variable which is product rank and assign that calculation right here. Then I'm going to declare another variable which is where I will calculate the running total, and I'm just going to say calculate. I'm still trying to calculate total sales, and in the calculate function I will write a fresh logic which is where I will say take a look at this rank and take a look at all the other ranks of the products and find out all the products which are lesser than equal to the current rank of the product. So I'm just going to use the filter function. In the filter function I'll remove the filter of the product name, and then I'm going to say that the product, which is the variable that I just declared, which is actually this rank of that product, so this rank should be greater than or equal to. Now I will start to calculate rank once again in this particular table. So I will say rank X, and I'm just going to say, hey, why don't you again remove the filter from the products column, and I'm just going to say that the rank is going to be based on total sales, the value is going to be nothing, and the order is going to be descending, and the ties are going to be dense. All right, so this rank function actually works inside of this table, and this rank, which is the variable, is actually the rank that you end up seeing here on the visual. Now I'm going to say that find out this rank should be greater than equals to all the ranks that I'm actually calculating inside of the table. Now once I do that, I close that bracket and I close that bracket, and this actually gives me the running total, and of course I can actually return the running total right here. All right, let's just take a look at this measure. So what I see is I see the first value right here, then I see the total of the first 2 values, then I see the total of the first 3 values, so on and so forth. And this is going to go on till the end of the matrix visual. Now, I'm sure that this actually also ends up calculating the running total for all the products that haven't been sold. So this calculation should only happen for all the products which are actually sold. So I'm just going to wrap this around in the if function. I'm going to say if my total sales is not equal to blank, then actually give me the running total, otherwise just do a blank. And this calculation will only happen for all of those products which have been actually sold in the database. All right, that's how you actually calculate a running total against a date value and a non-date field. Now I certainly understand that the non-date calculation was certainly slightly tricky, but if you did understand the logic of first ranking them and then finding out all the ranks which are lesser than equal to the current rank, I'm sure you can modify the formula to fit your own need. Let me know if you have any questions around this, and I'll be glad to help. Just a quick reminder about my DAX course. If you're interested to learn DAX right from scratch and build up a skill where you can start solving practical real-time problems using your own data, I highly recommend that you take a look at my DAX course. It's going to be extremely beneficial. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be glad to help. Thanks so much for watching this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.